Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, October 24th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. And also, if you trade Bitcoin, I will do a bonus analysis at the end. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol TVGN. Nice mover today. Been tracking this one quite a bit. It went quiet for a little bit, but today started to bang the drums again and now has a very nice pattern here. So let's get this pattern put into play. So resistance part of the pattern right there. And then as far as our support trend line is concerned, we have that right there. Let me change that to green to represent support. And then to make the pattern easiest to see, let's keep it one color. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big upwards move right there. And then for you golfers out there, try to make it a little bit more visual, put the golf hole down here. This would be a bull pennant pattern. So just because something's bullish in pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go upwards. But is it valid? Is it plausible to say that if the price were to come up here, and even if you want to just call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, but is it plausible that if the price comes right there, break through that level, that could cause a bigger upside movement? Absolutely, that'd just be a technical pattern breakout. So if you like bull pennants, you like stocks down below $5, keep an eye on it. Next one, LRHC, and same pattern here. So let me get the pattern drawn into play, but there's our resistance part of it. Now this one I don't think is as good looking as the other one because, yeah, this late day movement has caused the price to come down quite a bit. Change that to green. And actually, I lied. It's not the same pattern. Same in generally speaking, but as far as the term is concerned, so we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big move up here, and this would technically be a bull flag pattern. So bull pennant, bull flag, slightly different, but at the end of the day, the psychology is all the same, and the psychology is this. Big explosive move, bit of a pullback consolidation, which leads to the question, is this consolidation healthy? Is this consolidation just a little bit of a break before the bulls show back up and go boom back to the upside? All those are valid questions. So like I said, slight difference, bull flag pattern in this situation, but overall same general price range. So maybe you're a stickler and you're like, no, Clay, I don't like bull pennants. I only like bull flags. Well, here you go. Here's a bull flag. Next one, CNSP, and there's no doubt about it. This is a very ugly looking chart right now, but for you longer time viewers, you know what I'm going to say next. There can be opportunity in the ugly. And just to set up the ugliest, hopefully I don't need to say it, but just to make sure to think that at one point the price was up here, and I think that there were some poor souls buying around there. Hopefully that is stop loss. And now you look at the pullback right there. But it's this situation here that has really made things ugly because even at that point, I'll do this very crudely, there was still some sort of form of a bull pennant at that point. But it was that breakdown there that really sent things in an ugly mode. But this is where the opportunity comes. And look at where the price is approaching. That pink line there, which on my chart denotes the very well-known, the very famous 200 period moving average, right now valued at 0.133. Now, there are no guarantees, so I'm not saying by any stretch that it is for sure guaranteed that the price comes down to that level and gets a bounce from it. But is it valid? Is it plausible to think that the price could find some support at the 200 period moving average, especially when the price is approaching it in a relatively overextended state? That is certainly a plausible scenario. And if you're someone that's going to honor risk, then you can structure a very nice risk versus reward scenario. So if you're terrible at risk management or you don't even know what that is, you shouldn't even be trading, but that's a whole nother topic. Definitely stay away from these. But and you don't even need to get, I should note, a big bounce. Even if the price comes down here and bounces right there before rolling back over, from a risk reward scenario, that would be a whole lot of good upside reward relative to what was being risked in the first place. So if you like penny stocks and if you like these sort of opportunity in the ugly circumstances, then keep an eye on it. Next one, SQQQ, and we have ourselves another. Let me get this in play there. Depending on how you draw this, could be a bull flag, could be a bull pennant. That's where I say, you don't want to get too hung up in the terminology, so I'll change that to green. And I'll let you call it whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and call it, I'm going to go politician route. I'm going to call it both. So we have our, wow, that was a terrible line. We have our resistance, We have our support. We have the big move up right there. And no, I'm going to take that back. That looks like a bull flag to me. So another bull flag pattern. This one can move very quickly. It had massive volume today. So yeah, good solid movement right here. But once again, just to reiterate, it's all about the psychology. Big movement, got some pullback, got some consolidation. Is this a healthy consolidation before I move back in the upwards direction? We'll see what happens. Next one, NVDA. Brutal move on this one today. Not necessarily because it was red, but because it did break down through several areas. There we go, of support. The first level was right there, and then the one that, kind of stings a little bit more as the price is down below that level right there. With all that being said, even after a very rough day, so I'm going to just go ahead and get rid of those lines up there as they've kind of served their purpose for now. But everything is actually still fine, assuming you care about the bigger picture point of view. Now, if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought right there, or you bought right there, and your plan was to buy and sell within 20 minutes, well then yes, from that standpoint, the chart is a train wreck for you. But if you do care about the bigger picture, everything is fine. I'll explain that here and show that in a moment. But first off, as far as levels of resistance are concerned, and I should note, very nice final 30 minutes as I speak. You can see the price cruising up here very nicely. But in terms of areas of resistance, main battleground to now watch will be that 50-period moving average, and that's just based on the foundational rule that when levels of support are broken and closed below, they do tend to act as resistance. So if this upwards move continues, then right here at 140.75-ish will be that first key level of resistance. Now, the reason why I would still call this completely overall bullish is let's look at this area of support right here. Did the price bounce around? Nope, not quite. So right around there, you can see at 136.85, it's just giving you this big old kind of level right there that gives us a higher base compared to where the price was. So you look at that low, and then you look at that low, and you look at the upward sloping 200-period moving average. So yes, today was brutal. However, think about that word today, as in one day. Looking at multiple days here, you can see there is still plenty of opportunity for the price to build a higher base. So overall, things are fine. And it's just a question of can the price eventually kind of just chip away and make this a solidified higher low. But like I said, assuming you care about the big picture, the bulls are still in control. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering here very soon. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box you can use to sign up. Or if you're watching right at my website, there's an area right there on the page you can use to sign up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up. Next one here, VRAX, and definitely a change of pace from what I thought I was going to be talking about, because last 30 minutes here has really changed kind of the mood, if you will, of things. I mean, as I speak, this thing is pushing and getting lower and lower. It's broken down through these lows. So yeah, like I said, the landscape has changed here quite a bit. Now, the one thing that holds true regardless is, as far as the key overarching level of resistance, that does remain that trend line right there. But now it becomes a little bit more of, I mean, yes, that line matters, but it's kind of like a who cares about that line, because where is this thing going to stop? I mean, this 30 minutes has all of a sudden wiped away quite a bit of gain. So now it becomes a much more emphasis on rather, okay, is the price going to break through that trend line to where is this downwards movement going to stop? And the problem here is with this big move up, that's the catch-22, is right now, it's just kind of in no man's land. It broke through those lows, so there aren't any other areas of support anywhere nearby. Next level of support not until down around those moving averages, purple line being the 50-period moving average, 200 line, or excuse me, the pink line being the 200-period moving average. Now, that's not to say that this is for sure going to drop all the way down there. I'm just saying from a technical point of view, that's why things have changed quite a bit, because the price has entered this no man's land on the chart. So if you like to play pullbacks and you think that the thing could get ugly enough to get down around there, then yeah, maybe you're looking at a bounce opportunity. But if this thing all of a sudden snaps back around, well, then that would be a nice little sign of strength that maybe a breakout of that trend line is coming. But yeah, overall, that last 30 minutes has definitely changed things around quite a bit. Next one, TSLA Tesla, and we have finally started to get a potential answer. What answer? Well, if you've been watching past videos, you know that for basically a week and a half now, it's been the same thing. Me talking about this sideways channel. Now, granted, yesterday I did say that, okay, it's looking like the bears are starting to potentially take over, and that did show up here. As you can see, the price actually broke down through the bottom. But to give credit's due, you can see there was this upwards bounce here late day, and the price is now right at the bottom of that channel. So that's a big question mark for me going into Thursday is the price going to get back inside of the channel, or is this little bounce here essentially a little miniature dead cat bounce. This thing's just going to roll right back over, and at that point, that would be a full-blown victory to the bears of this, back and forth battle that's been going on for several days now. So really, Tesla, as far as I'm concerned, it's all about what does the price do in regards to that level right there around 214.25. If the price does continue on up, then the main area of resistance will be that purple line right there, the 50-period moving average. So we'll see what happens with it. Next one here, ticker symbol UAVS, and this one had a whole lot of opportunity and hope, and there is still a little bit left with it, but boy, oh boy, did this thing get ugly this afternoon. More specifically, this portion of the late afternoon, so essentially the final hour of the day, and that's why I would now consider this level down here a must-hold area. Right here, what is that? $1.96. Why is $1.96 do or die, must hold? Well, I'm not saying this will occur, but if the price were to come down to this area, break down below it, what would that be doing to the price? That would quite literally be putting the price right back inside of that range where it just was. I mean, not to insult your intelligence, but price movements that explode upwards and then go right back to where they started, not exactly a sign of genuine power or true strength. Again, I'm not saying that's what's going to occur, but that's why 196 is very important. On the flip side, maybe the price comes down here and then curls back upwards. And assuming you care about the big picture, well, from the big picture angle, what could you then say? You could say, well, yeah, it was a nasty pullback, but the lowest it got was right there. Previous low was down here. And if you envision those as stair steps, that would be progress going in the upwards direction. So there is still a little bit of hope left for the bulls. There is still a chance that from the big picture standpoint, they can build a higher base. But yeah, it's definitely entering that do or die territory at $1.96. Next one, ticker symbol SAVE, and I like this one because it's such a well-defined breakout point. So as I put this line into play here, I'm not trying to impress you. I'm not trying to imply that's a great discovery. A lot of people are going to be watching $3.18, and when a lot of people are watching the same levels and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want. It can produce some very dynamic movement. So if the price were to come up to here and get the break up through there, that break very realistically could produce another round of momentum and then create just that much more buying pressure in the upwards direction. So yeah, no doubt about it, 318 is going to be public enemy number one that a whole lot of people will be watching on Thursday. In terms of areas of support, the ideal level of support, when you say, hey Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute strongest going forward? And that would be if the price can stay up there above 275. With that being said, if the price falls below 275, the entire chart's not epically destroyed or anything like that, because from the bigger picture, it's all about that purple line right there, which you now know is a 50-period simple moving average. Keyword being moving, because I understand price is way up here, that line's way down there, but as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher and higher and get more and more relevant. So from the overarching standpoint, as long as the price stays above that uptrending line, then by definition, the price itself would still be in an overall uptrend. So overall, though, very, very impressive day today, and let's see what happens with 318. Next one, ticker symbol TQQQ, and very, very rough day on this one. Now, to give some credit where credit's due, last, basically late afternoon to think that the price was all the way down there, and now it's battled all the way back here. So good, legitimate bounce, but it becomes a very valid question of, or is this just a dead cat bounce? Because from a pattern standpoint, yeah, you have this upwards channel, but what was happening before this upwards channel? Well, you had this big move down. So actually in this situation, what I've drawn is a bear flag pattern. Now, as I mentioned earlier, just because it's a bullish pattern doesn't mean the price is going to go up. Same is true here. Just because it's a bearish pattern does not mean the price is going to go down. But I don't think anybody would be shocked if all of a sudden this thing breaks back to the downside through the bear flag. But nonetheless, that's kind of the pattern of the day, is a bear flag. Now, if this bounce continues, first key battleground is going to be this former area of support. That trend line that I drew previously, and as I mentioned earlier, when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. So that's going to be the near-term area. Let me just get rid of that level up there as it served its purpose for now. If the price does roll back over, then nothing complicated here in terms of logic other than, well, where did the bleeding stop today? And the bleeding finally stopped today down there at $70.28. So if the price does come down there, that would be the must-hold level. And from a pattern standpoint, you could be looking at a potential double bottom pattern, which is always a nice little pattern that can yield some good results. But as of now, yes, quality bounce. Is there genuine strength behind it? We'll see if this bounce can continue or if it decides to roll back over. And if so, will that 70.28 mark hold strong? I'll get to Bitcoin here in just a second, but for you stock traders out there, again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about the tool, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. It'll be very soon, Thursday, October 24th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It is a truly live event, and I say that because there is a Q&A session. So if you have questions, please bring them. I'd be happy to answer them live for you. All right, now let's talk some Bitcoin. One quick clarification here. I am now looking at the 4-hour time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 4 hours instead of 30 minutes. And that is because Bitcoin is open 24/7. So in order for this analysis to remain as relevant as possible, I want to keep this at a longer term time frame and then walk you through some questions. And based on how you answer these questions, that'll dictate the current status of things. So let's just assume you're watching this video 15 hours after I upload it. Question number one becomes, well, where is the price at relative to 66,600? In any way, shape, or form, if you're answering the question that the price is back above that area, that is a good thing. Because as of right now, the price is slightly down below it. So while it's not the end of the world, it is an indicator that, okay, maybe the bears are starting to pick back up more strength. But if you are answering the question that the price is back up above there, that implies that the price is back up above this area where you can see it's bounced from several times before. So any answer at all that the price is above 66,600, that is a good thing. Now, maybe you're saying, well, actually, Clay, the price is still down below there. Okay, next immediate question. Where is the price at relative to the pink line there, the 200 period moving average, valued at 64,300? If you're answering the question that the price is down below there, that's not good. That implies that the bears are not only remaining strong, they've gotten that much stronger. And then on the flip side, maybe you're saying, well, Clay, the price is still down below there, but the price is up above there, then I would just call that consolidation. The moment you're watching this, if that's what the circumstances are, then Bitcoin is continuing to consolidate somewhere right around this area. So that's not the greatest thing, but it's also not terrible because it's not like the price completely has continued to go down. But that's how I look at the situation if the price is stuck between these two areas. But overall, yeah, Bitcoin is pulled back now. It's getting, I don't want to say full-blown sketchy, but it's getting at least a little bit sketchy. So it'll be interesting to see how the next 24 hours play out until I'm back to update the video or update the chart once again. And as I invited the stock traders, I'm inviting you as a Bitcoin and crypto trader to definitely get signed up for this free live class, as what you're learning about can and certainly should be used within the world of Bitcoin and crypto. So like I said, it'll be very soon, Thursday, October 24th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, please do a couple things for me. Hit that like button and please hit that subscribe button, a totally free way to really help out the channel. So if you could hit that subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. So hit the like button, subscribe, and be sure to get signed up for that free class. Thanks for watching.